Hey there, Eli here with my brother and co-host Joshua from This Is Something. You know, sometimes things just defy a genre.
You know, like a platypus.
Or Taco Bell's meat. Well, we think we have the perfect solution for those situations.
That's right, we give you This Is Something Else.
Hey guys, welcome to the very first This Is Something Else. Today I'm going to be talking about the modifications I've made to my Squier by Fender Vintage Modified Fretless Jazz Bass. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. Well guys, this is the current setup of my Squier Vintage Modified Fretless Jazz Bass. As you can see from the previous picture, it has changed quite a lot, and there's actually more that I'm wishing to do to it in the near future. But this is where it's at right now. Just get started right off. The pickguard was obviously added. This is an actual Fender 3-ply Parchment Pickguard. It was something you'd see probably on like a made in Mexico Fender jazz bass. Unfortunately, this bass did not come with a pickguard at all prior, and I like pickguards. That's to each his own. But where the control plate was originally located, it was slightly off from this, so I ended up having to kind of cut down. I used a grinder to cut down right here on the actual pickguard, and then I had to relocate the selector plate here, the control plate. I just did the classic, you know, in the previous holes, I dipped toothpicks into wood glue, and then snapped them off in the old holes. So under here, there's probably a hole like right over here, here, and back there, off from where they currently are. I just use a little drill bit for this. I think it was like a 5/64 or something like that. The little drill bit to drill each of these little holes in. And honestly, this is my first time doing a project like this at all, especially on my own. Usually I'd have my father, who's a lot more adept with this stuff, helping me. But I did it all on my own, and I was pretty proud of that. But there are some screws that are like this one here, and this one up here on the end. They went in a little angle, but that's not too bad. I think it looks pretty good personally. You can obviously give your opinions on it. I know a lot of people online liked it without the pickguard, and then people wanted me to put a tort pickguard or a black pickguard on it. I kind of like where it's at. So to move along, the next thing I did, obviously, I added the classic Fender pickup covers. And these are also actual Fender productions. They're not off-brand. Well, I don't know if Fender makes these, honestly, but so that it has the classic Fender F, even though this is a Squier jazz bass. These weren't really too hard to install. I know some people online said that this one up here for the neck pickup, some people had to bend a little bit. I did as well. I just had to really just kind of grab the sides and squeeze it a little bit, because where it originally was, it would buzz a little bit when you plucked the string. So I had to do that. This one was actually just fine. I know other people have had, again, problems where they've had to bend it a little bit to fit. Maybe during shipping, it might have got hit a little bit and flattened out. But I didn't have any problems with this one at all. I did try to stick true to tradition, I should say, where some of the later models would have had the pickup sticking out a little bit. I didn't put it too far forward. It's sticking out just a little tiny bit up here. You really can't see it from your angle, so I'll show a picture right here of that. So you can see it just sticks out a little tiny bit like it would traditionally. So to move along, lastly, for the front at least, I should say, I did add a thumb rest. It's mostly for show, honestly, because I don't use it. I mostly play here, when I'm playing. I play between the two covers there. I am possibly thinking about in the future just for a vintage look. A lot of people know that originally what we call a thumb rest was actually a pull bar that was down here. I've thought about maybe drilling this in just to have the holes where it originally would have been. I'm not sure yet. It's kind of doing a relicking thing. I really honestly don't know how I feel about relicking instruments. So that one really wasn't that hard to install. It came with a template. When I bought this, again, another actual Fender piece. It came with a template that shows you both jazz bass and P bass, where it should go exactly. So this is really the exact location where it would be today naturally, unless you want to move it yourself somewhere else or have a custom job moving it. So yeah, that's what I have on the front. I do have one more mod that I've already done to this bass, and I'm going to go ahead and switch over right now. So guys, here you can see the other mod. It's probably quite obvious to most of you if you're a bass player that there is something different here. There is a strap button on the back, and I'll show it from a different angle in a picture right here. So before I get into how I did this and what I did, some basic history. Back in the 60s and 70s, there were strap buttons put onto the back of Fender basses, jazz basses and P basses. You can see these in great examples. I'll put up a picture right here. I believe the bass that is pictured is from 1967, and that's the back of a Fender jazz bass. You can see it there. You can also see the lollipop-style tuning machines that they were doing at the time. So basically what this was, there's two theories as to why they did it. The first one is that they added it so you can wear it like the classic hootenanny strap, where it's kind of hanging like maybe what Johnny Cash would have done, where it's hanging off to the very end of the neck. I actually do that with my acoustic, which doesn't have a strap button up on the heel, so that's why I have it there. But the other theory, which I tend to think makes kind of sense, is that Leo Fender thought that he could attract upright bass players to play electric bass if they could wear the bass in a more upright position. Having the strap button here and having the strap quite tight against their back would hold the bass a little closer to them in an upright position, which kind of makes sense to me. Honestly, if you have a different idea, or if you agree with one of those, please comment what you think on that. But this strap button here, I got on eBay, and it is a reproduction. It's not an actual Fender strap button, but I did test it against the other ones that I have on this bass, and it's exactly the same, to be honest. It's the same kind of metal look and everything. Unfortunately, when I bought it, I really wasn't thinking about the fact that because it is an actual strap button, the screws that it would come with were roughly this long to be put down into the body of a bass, which, this is only about a centimeter wide, so it would have definitely come through quite far on the other side. So the screw that's inside, if you can see in this picture that I already showed you earlier again, is not the original screw it came with. It's kind of a blue kind of color. It's a different screw. I think it's probably from Lowe's or Menards or something. But yeah, that's my that's that. I think that's what I've done to the bass so far. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I've done to this fine piece of equipment today. It is a fabulous player. I'll go ahead and put that in there. In my recommendation, I have Oni Ball flat wound strings on it. And that's all. I hope you guys have a fabulous day, and we'll see you next time.
We hope you liked today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment because we enjoy chatting with you.
Also, check us out on Instagram and Facebook at This Is Something. All the links are below. Thanks, and have a beautiful day.